All right, let's be honest. Have you ever maybe fudged the truth a little to, spare someone's feeling?
Oh, absolutely. It happens to all of us. It's like this unspoken thing, right? We think honesty matters, but then real life throws a curveball.
Exactly. And it turns out there's a ton of research about this whole honesty thing in relationships. We're actually digging into a document today that lays out a podcast, get this, Truth versus Tact, Navigating Honesty in Relationships.
Itchy title.
Right. It's like they knew we'd be here geeking out on this stuff.
Well, it's a topic that, well, it's more nuanced than people realize.
Yeah.
Like on the surface, honesty good, end of story. But the why is what's really interesting.
Yeah, okay, so the why. Like, I get it, trust, being open, those are all good. But does the research actually say this impacts relationships? Like, for real? Because this document mentions studies, and I'm all about that data.
Oh, there are some fascinating findings. There's this one study that found couples who are super open about their finances. And not just like, hey, we got a bonus.
Yeah.
But the tough stuff, too. They reported way higher relationship satisfaction.
No way. See, that's what I mean. It's not just this vague idea. It actually, like, has an impact.
It's huge.
Hmm.
When you think about it, avoiding tough conversations, especially about things like money, it just creates this undercurrent of tension.
Makes total sense. But, okay, let's be real. We can't talk about honesty without talking about those little white lies.
Oh, absolutely. We've all been there.
And this document, it even gives examples, and I was like, ooh, I've told that one.
Right. They're so common. And sometimes it's not even about being intentionally deceptive. It's more like wanting to keep things smooth.
Okay, so how do you know when it's okay or, I guess, like, acceptable to tell a white lie?
That is the million-dollar question. I think it comes down to intention. Are you trying to avoid conflict, or are you trying to genuinely protect someone from unnecessary harm? It's a subtle difference, but an important one.
This document mentions bringing in, like, a relationship expert, and it made me laugh because, well, here we are.
Right, exactly. I bet they'd say, like I was saying, intent matters. A white lie to make someone feel better is different than, say, a lie to get out of trouble.
Huge difference. This whole conversation, it actually reminds me of this time I told my friend I loved her outfit, and it did not go well.
Oh, no.
It was one of those things where I was trying to be honest, but it just came out so harsh.
It's tough. And that actually brings up this other concept this document talks about, brutal honesty. Like, even if you're telling the truth, being too blunt can really backfire.
Oh, for sure. So is there ever a time when not saying anything or like holding back is actually the better choice? It seems counterintuitive, but now I'm curious.
I think so. It's all about context.
Hmm.
Like, imagine someone's already having a terrible day and you hit them with a harsh truth bomb. That's not going to be helpful.
No, not at all.
Sometimes a gentler approach, even if it means waiting a bit, can make a world of difference.
That makes a lot of sense. This document, it actually gives a bunch of tips for that, like using I statements, picking the right time to talk. What are your thoughts?
Honestly, for me, it boils down to empathy. Like, imagine you're annoyed because a coworker is always late. Instead of saying, you're always late, which feels so accusatory, try something like, hey, I noticed you've been late a few times, just wanted to check in. Is everything okay? It shows you're actually trying to understand their perspective.
That's such a good example. And it really highlights how there's no one right answer. It makes you think, right? About all the different situations people are in, trying to figure this stuff out.
Absolutely. Every relationship is unique, and there's no magic formula.
Exactly. So, no hard and fast rules, but plenty to think about. If someone was listening, feeling lost in all this, what's your advice?
I'd say trust your gut. There are no guarantees, but if you lead with both honesty and compassion, you're usually on the right track.
I love that. No magic formula, just genuine connection. What a great place to end.
Couldn't agree more.